This is a Peter channel in North Massachusetts, serving Bristol County, Southeast Massachusetts, and the world. Good morning, everybody. It's time now for the morning news on this Thursday, June 18th, 2026. It's 65 degrees and cloud skies in North Massachusetts at 7:40 a.m. Here on the lines, and our top story at 7:40 a.m. is Trump and Reds Pezeshkian signed initial deal to end the war. Ukrainian drones hit Moscow, refinery a large-scale assault. The Obama presidential center will be dedicated Thursday in Chicago. Massive fire at warehouse in Boyle Heights near Los Angeles triggered shelter-in-place orders. Rare helicopter drops. Boston overdose deficit decade low. New York City loves congestion depressant. Why don't we in Boston? As offer comes ashore, season's first tropical storm may bring worsening rain. Roger Clemens questions MLB's warning to Jack's pitcher who wrote Bible verses on Friday night hats. Report says Fall River Public School Committee acted on matters outside the purview. Grocery chain pays $40 million fine and presses scandal deal. Donald Trump's red deal meets with anger, relief, and incredulity. The thriving black market. Russia came under the largest attack from Ukrainian drones in 2 years with a key oil refinery in the capital struck for a second time this week. Senate confirms Michelle Steele as U.S. ambassador to South Korea. Seoul stock said at the record peak of above 9,000 on extended chip rally. And topic opens Seoul office amid USA restrictions. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee has advanced legislation to repeal decades-old sanctions imposed on Syria. Body found in search for missing South Carolina woman. Senate Committee advances bill to repeal Assad-era sanctions on Syria. U.S. Air Force identifies 8 killed in B-52 crash. German injured and technology firm Bosch has agreed to pay a $36 million fine to resolve allegations that it exported goods to China's Hawaii. Georgia Republicans have objected GOP efforts to withdraw the state's congressional and legislative maps amid a wider nationwide gerrymandering effort. U.S. President Yadaber organizers scale back but keep misinterpretation resistant of a small Juneteenth celebration. Rare salamander habitat complicates top condo project. Daily and stocks now down 507.12 and 51.492.55. S&P 591 and 74.20.10. And NASDAQ down 354.69 at 26.21.66. And now looking at the sports scene. In World Cup soccer, Portugal and Congo 1-1 tie, and England beating Croatia 4-2, Ghana 1 pound by nothing, and Colombia 3 Uzbekistan 1. And MLB action, the Red Sox fall to the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0, and Red Sox Blue Jays scored it at 1:35 p.m. Central Giants 7-11 Braves 2, New York Mets 1, New York Mets 9, Cincinnati Reds 1, Kansas City Royals 6, Washington Nationals 2, Miami Marlins 12, Phillies 4, Houston was 4. Detroit Tigers 2 and Senator Padres 6, St. Louis Cardinals 1, LA Dodgers 5, Tampa Bay Rays 4, Arizona Diamondbacks 8, LA Angels 1, Yankees 10, White Sox 5, and Samsung Giants 7, Atlanta Braves 5, Milwaukee Brewers 9, Cleveland Guardians 4, Chicago Cubs 8, Chicago Rockies 6, and Baltimore Orioles 5, Seattle Mariners 3, and Pittsburgh Pirates 12, Athletics 4, NCAA Baseball, UNC 12, West Virginia 7, and Oklahoma 11, Georgia 4. WNBA action, Washington Mystics 88, Connecticut 81, New York Liberty 96, Chicago Sky 95, Golden State Falcons 91, Dallas Wings 80, it's a Minnesota Lynx 99, LA Sparks 83, Las Vegas Aces 86, Phoenix Mercury 76, and Pumpkin Fire 94, Seattle Storm 89. Wizards Young Design option to be FA, Dolan says second option for the Knicks. Portugal's World Cup far from over, according to Ronaldo. Wilson Prize ace to the Commissioner's Cup final. UNC invite for first men's college football series final against Oklahoma in the finals. And Tactical press hurt when the resistance man hits face. Peter Children's time is 7:44. Time now for Trevor Watch. Hingham Ferry. Due to the vessel substitution, subtroops on the F28 Chingham route will depart from an alternate location at Long Wharf. Subtroops are set to the 5-10 minute late. Dock personal reanimate. Available to provide guidance. Foxborough train 1708. 5:57 from Foxborough Starbase. 5 minutes basket between Norwood Central and South Station. Fitchburg train 406. 6:58 from Western Starbase. 5 minutes basket between Littleton Route 85 and North Station. Woodside train 505. 5:25 from Substation Starbase. 5-10 minutes basket between Supper Worcester. Riverside train 57, 705 from substation expected to depart substation 5, 50 minutes behind schedule. Haven Line train 212, 612 a.m. from Maples operating 5, 50 minutes behind schedule between Warwood Hill and the North Station. And Kings Line train 1012, 723 a.m. from Kingston departed Kingston 5, 50 minutes behind schedule. I was on my way to New England. 95 stop outside. Those open to protect out of Providence. 146 little bits open for Route 95 at downtown Providence. 6 take a little bits open for Route 95 at downtown Providence. 195 westbound those over to Seacock Washington Bridge. Kill clip an accident at 185 westbound between Seacock and East Providence. 185 eastbound those over between 95 Washington Bridge and 85. Don't those are Route 185 for Providence. Mountain Bridge is stop outside. Little bits of Route 13 westbound side also at the Cheapside Bridge. 185. Smooth sail from Seacock to Wareham, Route 25, eastbound also Route 16. Board Bridge is top outside. 28 at the north outside also board Rotary. Route 3 south also around the Sagamore Bridge. Route 6 eastbound also at 7th and stretch. 24 at the north outside. Also around Route 140 at Taunton. 95 north outside. Inspector between Route 1 and Sheridan. The Route 128 get stretched. Harrisonville 24 inspector between Harrisonville and about the Route 128 get stretched. Route 3 to the north outside. Inspector between Route 18 Weymouth down the Breakthrough Split. Cyber Expressway. A little bit so between Breakthrough Split down at Dorchester. Pike westbound also between Loyal to South Boston. Summit Hill, Soul Camp. Also good Route 1 a little bit so between River down Charlestown. 93 stop outside. Inspector between Malden and Boston. Route 83 to the north outside. Inspector at Route 128 to the Red Stretch and 128 Inspector between PDB Stretch and 128. Stop also between Reddit on and out to Lexington. Route 128 Inspector between United. Newton on and out of Route 20 Warfare. Route 3 Sabadell also between Lowell on and out of Rebecca, Hamilton, and Burlington Stretch. 485 Sabadell Standard Inspector Brad. End over the out to Tewksbury. 485 North Batsal also around West Bernard at Tewksbury. And 485 is back to Lowell Stretch. 485 is back between Milford and out of Westburg. Pack East Battle also between Westboro and out to the Newton Quarter. Pack Westboro also between Lower Red and South Boston. Sabadell Soul Count look good. Route 1 is back to River and out of Charlestown. Tonight, East Battle also Route 146 at the Red of Worcester and Western Mass Highways off. Look good at Route 1, Day 1, 707, Windsor, down to Harvard, Connecticut. 84 eastbound back to Duperton, down to Harvard, Connecticut. And 84 westbound 03, wherever you down it. Denver, Connecticut, and Burr Park, also one for stretch of Burr Parkway, and Soap 2, Trouble Down. Ducated, 95, North also 2, Starford at West Haven, and 95, 707, 2, Bridgeport at the Greenwich. Everton back to the Manchester Airport stretch at 93, as North West Side also Concord stretch at 89, 707, 93 at Concord Hampshire. Peter Children's time, 7:48. Time now for weather. Look at some rain showers around the east of Worcester and stretching up into the north shore of Massachusetts and up to much of New Hampshire and Nantucket, Vermont, and northern portions of Massachusetts. And some spotty rain showers around south of Hartford. Gale waters and plus the eastern coastal waters as well as the Massachusetts Bays and South. Gusty southerly winds with some showers about a few afternoon thunderstorms today. Made for the severe weather still look to be on west and south, but it's possible across the region. Dry weather Friday, Saturday, gusty west wind heights mainly between 75 and 85 when it comes to humidity, potential for the much needed soaking rain is kickoff start of the next week, but that's not set in stone. As gusty southerly winds with some showers ahead. Perhaps a few afternoon thunderstorms today may threaten the severe weather still look to be on west and south, but it's possible across the region and spread our region early this morning ahead of an virtual warfare. The time of this warfare will be critical on whatever the day best providing focus, but thunderstorms are reaching the warp sector of low pressure early today. Potential for some strong severe thunderstorms and cool happen. Projected wind shear and valves are impressive with valves not usually seen across the regular effective bolt shear of 46 knots and 1 kilometers. Storm related shear. Listening valves of 240 M2 S2 raise the threat of a strong straight line wind damage and perhaps a tornado. The probably limit factor would be how much stability can be generated. Showers early this morning should be mean lingering clouds for the time. This morning, the time of the Canada to the warm sector, low pressure over southeast Canada becomes reported. More unstable Cape. Valves between 5 and 1,000 JKG are expected. Those are more typical for our region, but don't really suggest risk with westward severe weather if there have been numerous cases where strong shear can compensate for weaker stability. Putting this all together, level 2 and 5, where specific thunderstorms create a place across the region today that most likely is sector stability strong shear remains across western Massachusetts and West Connecticut. During the mid afternoon or early evening, some low governance has severe weather materialized, but high potential impact that does time into for noon the night PM early west later east. Dry weather Friday and Saturday with gusty west winds at highs mainly between 75 and 85 with covering humidity and dry less humid with anticipated for Friday and Saturday. However, should still be gusty Saturday before gust diminishes up Sunday. Sunday can be dry for most of them well, but there a risk of some showers from mid-afternoon or early evening hours and potential for a much needed took rate to kick off the next work week, but that is not set in stone. The potential continues for a much needed soak rate to kick off the start of the next work week. That will depend upon the track low pressure that is not well defined just yet. And even the time of rains in terms of the dry very pleasant summer like weather should return Tuesday into Wednesday as high pressure builds up in the west. Temperatures look to be rather seasonable with comfortable humidity by the middle of the next week. Okay, forecast goes like this. Today, slight chance of showers between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. The chance of showers and storms after 2 p.m. could be strongest to so be wherever where. Mostly clouds cover 76 degrees and some about 7 to 17 miles against highs. 37 mile chest beaches. 50% a new wave amount between a tenth and a quarter inch, possible like the higher amounts possible thunderstorms for today. Podcast got about 62 degrees and southwest about 5 to 13 miles per hour for Tuesday. Podcast got about 83 low 60 degrees and west wind about 8 to 11 miles an hour against highs. 22 miles an hour for Saturday. Set skies about 81, low about 59 degrees. West wind around 11 to 13 miles per hour, high 24 miles an hour. For Sunday, set sky about 82, low 59 degrees. West wind about 5 to 8 miles per hour. For Monday, showers like May after 11 a.m. But the skies about 76, low 59 degrees. Calm given stuff at 5 to 8 miles per hour in the afternoon. Chest beaches 65%. For Tuesday, showers sky about 83, low 58 degrees. And over about 8 miles an hour. Chest beaches 30%. For Wednesday, set sky about 85 degrees. Calm given west ran 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Right now, 66 degrees for skies. And that's going to be it for our water reported this June 18th, 2026 on a Thursday. Peter J. Wednesday. Have a good morning, Wednesday. Stay safe, be by real, be well. Have a good day, and good morning.